Okay, it is another new year, and as this time comes, what we often find out is that people are so eager and determined to think about what it is that they want to change about themselves. There is this sense of prioritizing that self fulfillment that comes with this period of time. What I often kind of get from this, from observing and watching people, myself included over the years, is that many of these resolutions stem from a genuine desire to improve ourselves. There is this commendable endeavor that comes with that because the ultimate goal is to ensure that you're better and well equipped to deal with the year ahead of you. The thing that comes with this is that making these resolutions and goals, they're meant to serve as a personal marker, motivations for individuals to strive for growth and happiness. However, the issue that comes with this is that it often lies with unrealistic expectations, which from what we can see a lot of the time, if you look closely enough, is driven by societal pressure or the urge to outdo others. So what is it that we need to kind of unpick with this? This idea of societal expectations and peer competition that seems to go ahead, because each time we set resolution, sometimes there is this competition to say, okay, you've set that one, I'm gonna set this, I'm gonna try and make sure that I can do better than you. We turn on within ourselves this pressure. We realized that by allowing societal expectation and peer competition to overshadow what it is that was meant from our best intentions, there's undeniably a societal trend where New Year's resolution becomes more about social spectacle. It's about what is the highest ticket we could put out there. The focus often shifts from genuine self-improvement to creating an image or competing for social validation. Have you noticed that? Where we're so quick to posting this on social media, all these platforms, to say, yes, my goal is, when these resolution falters, there's often a lack of empathy or understanding of the personal impact of failure. The competitive aspects can lead to a stress and disappointment rather than recognition of the growth that was hoped to achieve when it was initially set. Have you realized that when you forget or decide to just let go of this resolution, that could be something as simple for some people as giving up biscuit, giving up chocolate, wanting to eat healthier, wanting to work harder, wanting to take up a learning course, wanting to do your driving. When you eventually give up any of this, the impact on you is not often considered because you just feel, oh, That's okay. But what you're kind of telling yourself that we fail to appreciate in all is that you don't matter. Everybody else does, but you don't. If that was you wanting to help somebody else or wanting to be there for somebody else, you would do everything to ensure that you follow through with that. But if you realize that when it becomes about your own self-growth, there's certain times where you don't even push the matter because you're like, why bother about myself? It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. It is a big deal because I suppose the important thing that I would like us to take away from this is about embracing authenticity and self-compassion. The key takeaway here is about striking a balance between self-improvement and self-acceptance. Instead of setting goals solely based on external pressures, what people think, or comparison, who is going to do better this year round? How am I going to defeat that? Sometimes have you realized that these are self-made competitions as well? Because the other person that you are competing with, or you think you're competing with, a lot of the time doesn't even realize they're in a competition with you. We just tell ourselves that this is what's going on. And for this reason, it's crucial that we set realistic and personal expectations or aspirations. We need to make sure that we're able to cultivate self-loyalty, involving ourselves by listening to what we want and what we need, whilst acknowledging that there are limitations and practicing self-compassion. There is nothing as important as prioritizing self-growth. While being kind to oneself allows authenticity, it also allows sustainable change, which ultimately equips us as individuals to be better servants or better support for other people. Because unless you are able to replenish what it is that you're giving out, giving up, you're no good to no one. Because what happens is that you become resentful when you are feeling tired, when you're feeling unrested, when you're feeling ill-equipped. How do we make this better? We make this better by making sure that we are mindful of goal setting. Instead of succumbing to societal pressures, focusing on setting intentions that resonate personally with us. We consider our values, our interests, and genuine aspirations while setting these goals. Are you interested in music? Is that why you want to learn to play a keyboard? Are you genuinely interested in fitness? Is that why you want to take up that path? Recognizing that there are going to be difficulties, but also setting precautions for when those difficulties are going to hit, so you're able to override those times, because those times are like other challenges in our lives. Being authentic to us is a crucial path of self-loyalty. Just as important is the need to practice self-compassion. We need to embrace imperfection and learn from our setbacks instead of continually self-criticizing, constantly putting ourselves down when we feel like we haven't lived up to a certain standard, that a certain expectation that has been set by others, by the people around us, or by community as a whole. We beat ourselves up with that stick of criticism continually, and what happens is that we begin to feel like we're not worthy of anything. How about if we twist it around and adopt a compassionate attitude towards ourselves? Understand that failures are parts of growth and not a reflection of inadequacy, because that's one of the paths that we often take, isn't it? We have been unable to achieve that because we're inadequate. But no, it isn't. We learn from it, because when you've learned from that, you're able to understand that these were the things that I missed previously. So for that reason, I need to look for a way to improve that. It's just like driving a car. When you start, you've got no idea of how to drive. But by repetition and constantly learning, you're able to pick it up. For somebody that has an accident, it's not because they wanted to go out there and have an accident, but a mistake was made. And if you are one of those people that have been unfortunate enough to be in a situation like that, for some people, they've given up driving. For others, they've learned from that mistake and it's made them better drivers. That's but an example. We need to ensure that we prioritize self-care, invest time in activities that nurture our well-being. This could be things like engaging in hobbies and ensuring that we allow ourselves periods of relaxation. It enables us to boost our resilience, which in turn enhances our capacity to support others. Because if that's the ultimate goal, then we need to be able to ensure that we're equipped. Setting boundaries is such a crucial aspect, because it allows us to maintain self-loyalty. Knowing when to say no is such an important path, because what we often get is that we drain ourselves by continually saying yes to everything because we want to please everyone. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to please people. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But the difficulty is when you are not in a position or a mindset to be able to do that, you're not helping anyone, not least yourself, because you end up compromising yourself as you strive to help others. It is important that we regularly evaluate our progress without harsh judgment. Not every goal is going to align with ourselves. And by continually reevaluating and reflecting on the journey that we're taking, we're able to realize if we're becoming overwhelmed by the goals that we've set ourselves. If if it doesn't quite fit, then we need to be able to make the necessary adjustment, and that is okay. It is important that we make the necessary adjustment, because only by doing that are we able to ensure that we continue to nurture self-loyalty, creating a foundation of self-respect and self-awareness, which in turn allows you to be more empathetic, understanding, and supportive towards others, allowing you to foster a healthier relationship and be more compassionate. Isn't that what we want? I want to say thank you for joining us today, and I hope you found this useful. Until next time, it has been Kings. Peace. Bye for now.